Hi guys, back again with me, Austin from Avoid Heart. Today I'm going to share to you my experience on the Acid Rain, the Last Line of Defense AMM figure by Oritoy, designed by Kit Lau. Alright, so a bit of background. If you've watched my previous videos on this lineup, I've always mentioned that the background is World War II never ended, and there's a lot of scarcity in resources, and then a lot of pollution. The term acid rain is being used there, and there's there are several factions, by the way. They are still on the war, but today is a bit special. This figure is actually show exclusive, notably the 2016 SDCC exclusive, and also several other shows, which I think is one of the Hong Kong shows, and another one is the Taiwan show, and another one of the show which I kind of forgot, maybe the China show or somewhere in Asia, I think. Alright, so I was lucky to get one of these. In fact, I got two of this. I'm just very lucky, and it is a great figure. Alright, if you watch my previous video also for this figure, okay, this is 430, one of the soldier of Argus, okay, part of the Argus army. This is actually the same body mold. Okay, we'll look into it in more detail later. Alright, now let's take a look at the packaging first. Okay, so here's the packaging. Now the typical, not typical, yeah, but this is the current packaging style of the next Acid Rain figure. Actually, this is this figure, and the 430 just now that you just saw. Remember this one? Okay. These two figures are, the starting point where Acid Rain is using this kind of mold, this kind of packaging. Sorry, right? Previously they used some kind of carton box, but now they've been using this. Okay, this is in fact the very first figures. These are the very first figures that use this kind of packaging with the plastic box. Alright, and at first I thought they are going to do it only for this figure, the 430 and this guy, but I've seen pictures of the next releases that they will be released with this packaging as well. Okay, this kind of packaging. Alright, so this one is the main one. Okay, it's a bit different with the usual packaging because it's a show exclusive. So here's AMM. Alright, it is this letter AMM is actually Apis Mellifera Mellifera. Alright, so what it is, and there's a quote there where it's my honey. That's actually the Latin name of European black bee, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, it's a black bee, a huge bee species, one of the species of the bees, which lives in the European area. Okay, it's one of the biggest among the big species of bee. Alright, and it is a show exclusive. It's very limited quantity. So I'm very lucky through a friend that I managed to get this. Okay, so a bit of artwork here. This, it's bundled in plastic, something like this. At the back, well, nothing much there. I cannot read it. Sorry, but I think this is This probably is from the Hong Kong show. Okay, I just presume that. Okay, right. What's inside is very similar to the Falsetto one. Okay, the difference being that it is yellow, right? Yellow and black to mimic the color of the character, whereas the Falsetto one is simply just plain gray. Right? And the logo AMM there. Alright, inside is the same, a bit of plastic, but it's basically the same with this one. Alright, just to explain a bit more, this AMM, these guys are not affiliated to any country as far as I know up to this point. As the story, as time goes, there may be more progression to the storyline. We'll see in the future, but as far as I know now, alright, that's about it with the packaging. As far as I know now, the AMM is kind of a private security, not for a country, not for a nation, but instead they are working as a soldier for a company, okay, a very huge multinational company called Beehive. Alright, ergo, you know, they are the bees, right, guarding the beehives. This company, I mentioned earlier that during this era, you know, in the background story, there's a scarcity in resources, and somehow honey is very well regarded. Okay, it is a very important resources that needs to be preserved, collected. Basically, maybe a lot of party wants to get their hands on honey. So this company called Beehive, they are the ones who, you know, harvest, collects and use honey to different kind of purposes. And these are the guys they hired. I'm not sure if they are part of the internal, you know, soldier of the company, or, you know, outsourced through another company, but basically they are, private securities. Okay, private securities. So that's about it with the background. Okay, now again, I just mentioned to you back that as always, all acid rain figures are using the same inside body mold. Okay, the inside body mold is the same. I'll show you a bit. This is the very first acid rain figure that I shared to you guys in my previous video. The same body mold inside is also being used throughout the other releases. Very similar body mold, just different painting. Okay, the same with this one and this one as well. The only difference with this guys is the body armor, right? And this guys actually has the very same body mold, body armor. The only difference being is one, the painting, okay, the paint detail, and two is the helmet. All right, it's very visible there. Okay, other than that, the weapon, you know, all of this are the same. All right, and in fact, if you watch my previous video for this figure, I did take away all the pieces, not all, but half of the pieces, you know, to show you the inner part. But I'm not going to do it with him. Firstly, because I don't want to go through the same process of again. It's a very painful process, very painful to do, and it is a exclusive figure. I don't want to, you know, to break it or anything. But I'll just show you something that I can take off. I can take off the body armor for you to see the difference. So let's have a closer look to this figure. All right. So here's Mellifera Mellifera, or AMM. Okay. A bit of overall look in a closer angle. Okay. So here's the helmet. It's really cool. overall it is painted in, I think it's supposed to be more black, but it's not really, you know, your very dark jet black. It's more like a dark brownish coloring, which is very cool. Okay, again, they are specialized in weathering style of paint. Okay, Mr. Kit Lau is doing it himself, I believe, and it is a really cool paint scheme. All right. In fact, being an exclusive figure, this figure is, you know, the painting on this figure is one of the appeal of this fairy figure. Okay. The helmet are the same, and sorry, this part of the helmet is the same. I'll show you later, but this part of the helmet is different. It has the same gimmick. Okay, you can open it up to show his face. Alright, so that's his face underneath. You can just close it up. There's a swivel there. Okay, you can do this. Alright, and then everything is painted in black and yellow. As I mentioned, it is based on one species of bee called European black bee. That's why the dominant of the darker color here. Okay, so I really like it. The AMM insignia can be found on this part here and here. Alright, I like the painting on the back as well to highlight this part, because this is, I think, one of my favorite part in this figure. It mimics, you know, your backbone somehow, so that's really cool. Alright, weathering, right? Very nice body armor. Alright, so that's really good, complete with the boots as well, and the detailings down there. Right, now just to give a quick comparison with Fossetti. Right, so here's Fossetti and here's AMM. Again, the helmets are the different style. This is actually based on the previous release figure, which I haven't shared yet. I'm going to share it in next videos, hopefully soon. Right, it's just differently painted. It is based on one of the pilots actually. This helmet is just painted differently on this visor. Okay, the one is kind of, you know, I forgot one of the character from Star Wars, The Force Awakens. This kind of eye, not eye, just visor, you know. Again, the obvious difference is first the helmet. Okay, it's different style of helmet, especially the visor. This one with this kind of visor. This one is more like Google style. Okay, but it can be removed as well. By the way, the face is similar. Okay, the face is very similar. Alright, you can take it off as well, by the way, to show his face. In fact, I believe it's the same head. Yes, and very similarly painted. This is a bit more light gray. Okay, it may not be really visible in this video, but I can see it with my bare eyes. This is darker. Okay, this is more dark gray, light dark gray, and maybe a bit of lighting. Okay, and then this is Fossetti has more wider part. You know, this white dots everywhere because they are operating in the very sandy areas. Very snowy areas, whereas these are more maybe they are. You know, they're operating in more tropical, right? And the forest and the jungle everywhere. Okay. Okay, so difference on the arm, like more intricate painting details here, right? On the yellow on the wrist. No logos here. The logos is there. the company, sorry, the unit logos, insignia there as well. The back, right, like I mentioned, these are not really stand out, but this here is, I like this one better. It shows the detail on this part as well. That's really cool. Okay, and then on the thigh, okay, it's very plain, but here we can see the yellow detail here. Also on the knee pad and the shin guard, okay, and the boots. Alright, a lot more detailing there, like that, but below is the same detailing. Okay, again, I'm not going to open all the pieces of the armor. It took me quite some time. It's very much the same, just different paint scheme. Alright, so you can watch my previous video on this guy to see what's inside, but I'll just open at least the middle part of the body armor, because it's the easiest one. Alright, and maybe just to highlight a bit of the difference in the body mold. Alright, maybe I can open up the boots just to show you. Some part are easy to open. It's just black. Alright, so nothing much really. This one is very much the same, right? Do you think so? This one is darker. Alright, it's more dark black. This is more like a dark gray. Okay, that's about it. Okay, let's open up his body armor again. If you remember my previous video, or if you have watched it, then you'll see the peg is here. Okay, and the peg is also here on two sides. That's the peg inside the peg hole. To remove it, we just have to pull it off. Okay, just like that on one side, and on the other side. Come on. Oh, alright, then we can easily take it off. Okay, again, I just want to say this one more time with this figure, that the same inner body mold that is being used here is being used, in fact, repeatedly for all the figures from this line, and it is actually a very cool body mold, right? Because even in the body you can see that it is packed with articulation as well. The head is always in ball joint. Okay, you can do this a lot of position without the armor on, right? By the head itself, but even more, they add one more articulation on the neck, which is also ball jointed, which allows you to do this downward knot and upward knots. Okay, it helps to give more extension, and even to do right side to side motion like this. Okay, so that's awesome. And then of course the torso, right? Always they actually provide this to all, right, which allows you to do this kind of motion, right, and upward motion. So a lot of quite a good crunch there on the torso, right? But unfortunately, because most of the time it is hindered by the vest or the body armor, right? So we cannot really maximize this rotation, the joint, but a bit of crunch maybe. Alright, and then another rotation also in this part. This one we can still use it with the armor on because it is here. Alright, and of course the rotation on the knee, which we cannot do. I'll show you right now. Most of the figures in this line can do this much. Right on the knee, all of these figures, but unfortunately for these guys, because of this, because of this body armor, they cannot do it, but that's okay. I'll show you the extension of the articulation with the body armor on. So I'll just put back the body armor. Alright, it's very easy, very simple if you're familiar with GI Joe figures. Okay, just make sure the logo is at the front and the back one part is at the back. Slide it in and then look at the back. Push the back in on both sides. So, right, that's really good. Now then the other side. Come on, come on. Okay. Alright. Now he's ready for action. Or maybe with the helmet on as well. Okay. Alright. Let's close it. Okay, I'll just show you the articulation with the full body armor. Okay, the head is on ball joint, so you can always rotate it around, of course. And then with addition, with the combination on the head and the neck joint, you can do this much, right? And you can move it upward a little bit, not too much. Okay, well, if you've taken it off, you can actually do this much, so that's not bad. Alright, side to side, and then with helmet on, side to side as well. So that's not bad. Okay, and then as I mentioned earlier, the crunch is here, rotation is here as well, but you cannot utilize it because of the body armor. It's the same with the other figures and this line. Okay, that's too bad, but it's okay. You can utilize the one on the waist though, and then yep, that's okay because it's very rubbery, so you can do that. And then on the arm, because of the swivel, it's a ball hinge joint. Okay, so you can do rotation. Okay, you can do this, right? But you can also do this depending on your need. Just adjust the hinge to what you need, basically. Right, it is still okay. Alright, the extent that we can do is not that bad actually, so that's good. And the elbow can bend this much. Alright, that's not bad, although the armor is still on. And then with the armor on, by the way. Okay, so that's rotation, that's good. On the wrist you can turn it around, and as you can see, there's a swivel there, only downward, nothing up, nothing on the top, so you can only do one way of motion on this wrist, but that's good because it helps with holding the gun with two hands. Okay, and then on this side there's a swivel as well. As you can see, it's very clear. You can do both sides of motion, upward and downward. Come on. Alright, that's about it on the upper body. That's really cool. Alright, let me adjust a bit. And then on the thigh, Okay, there's a wall joint as well, as you can see earlier in the earlier videos. Right, I pop everything off actually. So there's the front kick, the back kick, a bit hindered by this, but that's okay. Okay, that's good enough. Can do the split as well. Right, not the full split, but that's good enough. Okay, and then there's a rotation here on this side, just like current Marvel figure and Star Wars figure as well. So you can see there's rotation there. That's really good. Now the knee is actually on ball joint, but because of this two piece, it's a bit hindered. Okay, I'll show you. So that's the extent of the band of the knee with the armor on, whereas the line is actually has the capability to do this much. Okay, with the inner body mold, but because of the armor, can only do this much. Right? See the comparison? That's the full extent. That's okay. Well, it is a heavy infantry, by the way. Alright, and then of course on the what do you call this, ankle, sorry, I can do rotation because of the joint here, and then rocker ankle. Wow, that's nice. And then the swivel, well, it is a bit hindered because of the boots, but it's there and you can do this much. Alright, so that's the articulation. That's really good actually. I'm quite impressed, although with the armor on. It's the same with 430. Alright, everything is working just enough to give you decent, very cool possibility. Alright, okay. He also has one submachine gun. I'll show you now. This is what he has. It's the same mold with the 430 as well. Okay, it's a submachine gun with the bayonet. I'll show you. Oh, where was it? Alright, this is the one that belongs to 430. And this one belongs to the AMM. Very much the same. The only difference being the gray. Okay, which is very similar actually. And it's just that this one, yeah, very similar. A bit of difference, yes, but very similar. If you look at it directly, then you won't see much of the difference there. But if you see on the camera, as I can see, it is a bit different. Okay, it's a bit of there's a bit of hint of gold there. It's not really visible, but basically different. Okay, a bit of reddish kind of touch there. Anyway, the main difference is here is yellow is here, the orange is here. Alright, yeah, it's more of orange now. I realize it's not really yellow, but it's more like a dark weathered yellow version. Alright, but it's very similar with the bayonet. Okay. And as always, all acid rain figures, I always mention this, that they are able to wield the gun with two hands, even in a sniping position. Well, not sniping, but it's in a shooting position. Okay, most of the figures. That's really good because of the articulation. Let me show you. Let me try to pose him at a shooting position. Alright, okay, that's the elbow. Alright, let's maximize any articulation that he has. And ta-da! Okay. So this is something that you can achieve with most acid rain figure. Okay, it's not very hard to do. So this line, which is very cool. Okay, so boom 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 boom. All right, that's really cool. Okay, so let's measure him up. Okay, it's about 4 inch, I think. Yes, with the helmet on, of course. Alright, especially this visor is very tall. Yeah, roughly. Okay, so that's good. Well, let's compare him. This is the Argus infantry. Okay, they are using the same body mold, so well, they should be on a similar height. Okay, maybe it's a bit taller because of, you know, the full body armor, but a bit of height from the boots and the helmet. Okay, and then this is compared to the leader of the box team, Bob. Right, I'm not sure how are they related to the storyline and the lineup. Okay, this guy seems on his separate business, his own business. Yeah, same body mold, so the height should be the same. Alright, just a bit difference. Bit of comparison. Souls, right, the most recent ones. So far I'm quite impressed with that trooper, you know. He's very much, because he's very tall, he's still very much in scale with any other figure line. So that's good. Scarif is shorter. Of course, different scale. Actually, Star Wars is more 3¾ inch, pure 3¾ inch, whereas this guy is more 4-inch scale. Okay. Then, the iconic soldier, of course. And then this is normal stormtrooper. He's very short, by the way, compared to him. Oh well. Alright. The Marvel Universe scale, very similar, right? I think very much in scale. And this is a G.I. Joe figure, still very much in scale. Alright, and then lastly with his mold brother. Alright, the Force City. Alright, overall I really like this figure. Okay, well, just to note, by the way, yeah, very much the same height. Really like this figure. Okay, the paint scheme is much better than this one, I believe. Well, it has to be, okay, because this is an exclusive, show exclusive figure, very limited quantity, and the price is obviously different. Okay, it is much cheaper. Sorry, this is much more expensive than this. Like I said, I'm just lucky to be able to get him. Okay, I really like this paint scheme overall. Now, if you're on a budget, actually, you can also get this guy, which is part of the general release, and repaint it, you know, because it used the same body mold anyway, the same body armor. You can just repaint it into this scheme. I know some guys have done that. They are good painters. Well, I haven't tried it, but I'm not a good painter, by the way. So I'm quite satisfied with this. Okay. But if you want the cheaper option, you can always get this guy and try to paint him according to this kind of paint scheme. Alright. Very much the same, just different the difference is on the helmet. Alright, so this is AMM. Thanks guys for watching. I was staying from Boyd Heart. Good luck.